Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today we're doing what if Naruto was like Itachi. And guys, this will be the last what if I'll be doing our new what if that I'll be doing for Naruto what ifs. The only new what if that's gonna come out is um is what if Deku had radiation release, or I think it's radiation, but I'm gonna make it in my own way, but meh. And guys, and Goku what if and a new Demon Slayer. But this is gonna be the last Naruto what if I do, because the rest I just do part twos, and the new Asta what if that was supposed to put out ever since, but I never got around to it. But I wanted this one because I got the idea, and I knew I was gonna forget if I didn't say it. Okay, so the shits will be Hinata, no, not Hinata, not Hinata. What's her name is? Hana Izuka, Kiba's sister. Um, Hinata, and then Samui from the Cloud. If you don't know who she is, she's the one with blonde hair and overgrown like breasts for her age. Yeah, her. So let's get into the video. We see Naruto. We see two people. One had black hair with blue eyes, and another person had red hair with blue eyes. But they had a nail stuck through the bellies and their guts. They had a nail stuck through their guts, and the the one with the red hair had the golden chains protruding out of her back. This was Minato Namikaze Uchiha, and this was he also had bits of yellow hair in his head, but not too much. This was Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. In front of them was a black tear boy with blue eyes, with red tips, but it wasn't that noticeable. But the strange thing with him, he had a one Tomoe Sharingan. The two people were crying and saying they're sorry for making Naruto go through this pain, enough pain for him to activate his Sharingan at such a young age. We're sorry, Naruto. Kushina then said what she said in canon, because I cannot remember. I only remember the three prohibitions of the shinobi, but I still can't remember all of them, so I'm just gonna say what she said in canon. This is where the third Hokage finds Kushina and Minato, and Minato takes off a necklace, does some hand signs with the last remaining chakra that he has, and puts a seal on the um on the necklace, and in Uzumaki's swirl appears into the necklace. He then takes his last breath and he leaves. No, and he dies. Kushina stays a little bit longer, but she imparts the rest of her chakra into Naruto. And Minato also put his chakra in the seal, and Kushina's chakra is there too. So then we turn skip. We see a Naruto on the bed. You see him with his one Tomoe Sharingan activated. It's been at least 5 years, so Naruto is 5 at this time. Naruto was already shown to be a prodigy, and his fire release was better than anyone in the clans. He was the youngest person to ever activate his Sharingan, which was the Sharingan at birth. He was now staying in the Uchiha compound. He had on a black Uchiha shirt with the Uzumaki symbol on the back, but on the left shoulder of his shirt had a star with the Uchiha symbol in it. His flames were so hot they was recognized as crimson flames. the hottest flame, the hottest a flame can get. And everything he saw and read, he could do within at least a minute or two. He had already got tons of jutsu under his caliber. He has fire style, fireball jutsu, or crimson fireball jutsu. Water style, water dragon jutsu. Water style, water aqua mirrors. Water style, water bullets. Fire style, fire bullets. Fire style, flamethrower. Fire dragon breath. He also had wind style, wind gale palm, tandem wind palms, and he was recognized as a prodigy, just like Itachi, but he was a little bit more. He had way more chakra than Itachi. He had more. He could keep his Sharingan activated more, and he had a strange ability to control his chakra to the minute detail. So he never really needed to do chakra control training. But someone didn't like this. This was Fugaku Uchiha. Fugaku did not like Minato one bit, and he was pretty mad since he was the clan head and Minato just became the Hokage. Minato was a special case when it came to the Uchiha clan. He did activate his Sharingan through later on life, and by then the Uchiha clan had kicked him out of the clan because he was they labeled him as ineffective Uchiha. But he activated it later down in life. It was like he always had it, but he never really showed it until he became Hokage. He activated his Sharingan so he would throw shade at the Uchiha. Minato was a great shinobi. He was a generational prodigy, generational genius. In fact, his Sharingan was no match to no other. Wicked-eyed Fugaku was not even on the same level as Minato. Minato was named the Wicked-eyed Yellow Flash, because since Minato still had streaks of yellow hair, it would still seem like a yellow blur. So he was still named Yellow Flash. Minato also had a Kekkei Genkai, Storm Release, a black and purple lightning, eternal. It was often affiliated with clouds, but that's what the cloud did. The cloud had a very weakened version of Storm Release. The original part of the Kekkei Genkai was from the Namikaze clan, where their Storm Release was perfect. It was just lightning that could conduct like water, that could make the weather change whenever shot in the sky. That's all it was. But the cloud had a very weakened version of it, because they had stolen a Namikaze woman and forced her to breed in there. So they had a very weakened Storm Release, not even on the caliber of the Namikazes, but they died out also. Naruto was a black-haired boy. He had two bangs framing his face with black spiky hair with red tips, not noticeable, but they were still there. His eyes were blue. He had 3 distinct whisker marks. His body was mature for his age. It's like he randomly seemed to grow instantly. His body needed to adapt to what he was doing, so his body grew exponentially. Naruto was always known as a prodigy, but Naruto did not really feel anything towards people that said that. The only person he feels anything towards was a person named Mikoto Uchiha, his mother's friend. Now, since Naruto's in the Uchiha compound, I would believe that Makoto would sneak out the house every now and then to come and help Naruto, because that was her friend's son. And Minato did not live in the Uchiha compound. He made a compound for himself, and he did everything for himself. He didn't really consider himself an Uchiha, but he still uses Sharingan because it was a tool and nothing that he could take part in. Naruto Naruto was also shown the ability to use violet flames, but it was way harder than his crimson ones. His crimson flames was his base flame, but the violet flames were different. They often blended with the crimson flames because he couldn't make a pure crimson flame, but it was still a sight to see. Like the fireball was the base fire was crimson. The fire was crimson, but the tips of it was a violet color. So Naruto had a very good contact with Itachi, and he was very good at whatever he did. Today was the year that he has already entered the academy, and it was his last year where he's met a person called Hana Inuzuka. Hana Inuzuka was also outcast of her clan. Well, not an outcast. She didn't need a dog to do any of the clan's jutsu. She could make a clone, or a beast clone, which she called it, made of her pure chakra. So beast mimicry she didn't really need to do. Her eyes weren't the black slit that every Inuzuka was. She had brown eyes, but they still had a black slit in it. She could do everything a Inuzuka could without the dog. She had a very high smelling and sense of smell. Very high sense of smell. And her strength was just unbearable. Naruto had also saved the girl not too long ago. What was her name? Hinata. She was getting kidnapped by the Cloud at the time. Naruto was just training, but he had to burn the Cloud's body to cinders. So when the Cloud said that they did anything, they denied it, saying that there was no proof that they killed anyone. He probably got in altercation with another village, and the village took them. People like the Mist and the Earth and the Rock, they're just accusing them just because they were close. Now the Raikage had nothing to stand on, and the Hokage angst, why would you think he would be at the Hyuga household? That was suspicious, Raikage. Hiruzen said. This is a flashback. The Raikage had nothing to say. He just dropped the matter. Because he honestly tried to get the Byakugan for his village, but he couldn't. The Hokage, they had no evidence that they killed the Cloud because the body was no longer there. It was burnt to cinders. So yeah. And who says there couldn't have been any other shinobi trying to sabotage the Konoha? Because Konoha had many enemies since the Third Great Ninja War. But Naruto was different. But he decided to get up off his bed and go outside and train. He put on his Uchiha shirt that I told you about just now, and he put on the things he has on his arms at the time. He put on those. I put on a gray Uchiha pants with the Uchiha symbol on the corner of his left leg. Then he put on bandages on his knee, all the way to his knee to his ankle. Then put on black shinobi shoes and opened his window and jumped out of it. He was going first for a present that Makoto told him to come for. He arrived at the Uchiha compound and knocked on the door. There, Itachi answered the door. Itachi rubbed Naruto on his head, and Naruto told Itachi that he came from Makoto, or Auntie Makoto. Makoto came and had something wrapped. It was straight and long. It was no curves in it, but it was just straight and long. But it was a box. When Makoto gave it to Naruto, she said happy birthday. It was Naruto's birthday today. He was turning 6 today, but no one really knew that because Naruto never really showed any indication of his birthday or never really cared for his birthday. But on this very day, Naruto's parents died. Naruto remembered very little about it. Yes, Naruto activated his Sharingan, his one Tomoe Sharingan at this age. He also had the two Tomoe, but he didn't really show that because every time he activated, it would deactivate for some reason. But this time, when he opened it, when he opened the box, it had a straight, shortish, long sword. A Shikoto. Shikoto is a straight sword with no intended curves or anything. It was just a Shikoto. The sword was long, but it was black, but the edges were silver. When Naruto took the sword and swung the sword, it left a silver chakra trail. Naruto spinned it in his hand and caught it. He then took the sheath from Mikoto and sheathed the sword on his back. He thanked Mikoto for the sword, and Mikoto rubbed his head and gave him a kiss on the forehead. And then Itachi took his 2 fingers and hit him on the head. In that time, Itachi got a flashback. You remember when Kushina used to do that to him? So it was only fair for him to do it to Naruto. Itachi then went off in the wind. Naruto was learning another jutsu. He always kept his necklace with him. He knew it was from his parents because for the faint dreams he had, he could always remember his father putting the necklace over him. But he never could see his father's face for some reason. Naruto was always skilled at kunai throwing. He never really needed to look at something to throw a bullseye at it. But he was in a forest, but someone was looking at him. He noticed them, but he didn't really say anything. This was Hinata Hyuga and Hana Inuzuka. Naruto always was kind to Hana, although she was the outcast of her clan. Her mother thought she was a prodigy and a once in a generational mutation of the Inuzuka clan. But the Inuzukas didn't like it one bit. To be honest, they were envious that she was such a prodigy that she didn't need a dog to do anything, while they needed a dog to do most of their jutsu. Naruto finally got fed up with it and he jumped in the air, doing a backflip in mid-air, but at the same time throwing 2 kunais to a tree where they were behind. Naruto then told them to come out. Hinata was a little shaken, but Hana was not. She spent years with Naruto. Naruto was at the top of his class for everything, and he was set to graduate way earlier. He was just 5, and he was already getting ready. Well, 6. He was 6, and he was already getting ready to leave the academy. So Naruto would pass the academy before Itachi. So he would break the record for he would be. Okay, how do I explain this? Okay. Naruto would pass the academy before Itachi because Itachi graduated the. So guys, I will be on the road. I'm going to somewhere, so I will need to stop. I just want to make this video quick. So Naruto would go and he would ask them why they're here. Hinata would be blushing, and this is where Hinata would get the confidence to admit her feelings toward Naruto, because Naruto is 1 year older than Hinata, but Hana is the same age as Naruto. It's not the same age as Naruto because Hana is probably 1 year older than Naruto, 1 to 2 years older than Naruto, right? So Naruto would get. I this trip. So Hinata would confess her love towards Naruto, right? And Hana would say, if you're gonna not Hinata, I love you too, Naruto. And Naruto has no emotion on his face because he he kind of don't know what love is, what romantic love is, so he just kind of doesn't understand what they're saying to him. So Naruto asks to be explained because in a very awkward way. He just said explain, and they didn't get that Naruto doesn't know technically what love is. Technically, because no one's there to teach Naruto any of this. And he teaches himself everything, so it's not even Fugaku or Itachi would teach him everything. He teaches himself. But they explain that love is when you feel a feeling towards another, which is a romantic feeling that you want to be with them for the rest of your life. Naruto says that I guess, I love you, I guess. Because he still doesn't know what it is, but he does feeling a feeling towards both of them, so he's gonna guess that's love. It kinda is, but it kinda isn't. Some ice cream. I'm sorry if there's a problem eating, like, but anyway. So Naruto tells them to come and train with him, and they come and do it. And Bahana knows all of her clan jutsu. She needs nothing to fresh up on. She can make a clone of her chakra and turn that clone into a dog, and then make other dogs so it could morph into one. But she has a tail, but she grows a tail sometimes, and she has ears. So Naruto is sparring with both of them. Hinata is running him at trying to throw some gentle fists. Naruto is dodging everyone she tries. Hana is trying to scratch Naruto from. I have to cut this short. I know it was a bad video because stuff was happening in between it. But as part to make up with it, I'm gonna make a part 2 in a few hours or minutes, whatever. Because I have to go and do something. I'm sorry. But anyways, bye guys.